Good morning, good afternoon, happy Friday, a 100% win rate day to end the week. We're going to break down every single trade from this morning. I only traded one stock today, but this is the only thing you really should have been trading today, as it was the only real obvious stock in the market. This is exactly how you spot the obvious stock and how you trade things at market open to put in place a perfect range just like this. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Again, today is Friday, the 23rd of January. This thing was insane today over on KUST. We came into the open today watching a handful of stocks on DRC, KUST, and SLE. Now, of course, SLE was a reverse split name. It didn't really do much here going into the bell. The game plan here, and again, we'll go through all of them, was to watch it over 960, and we'll pull that chart up real quick. And it just obviously was not traded today. This never got going. This just never got going over 960 out of the bell. So, of course, no trades on this. Left her alone. No break, no trade is the motto. DRCT was next, and I said let's watch it over 630 out of market open. It also never got going. I wanted to watch it over the high of day from here before market open, and you can see this was a very similar setup to VERO earlier in the week, or was it last week? I think it was last week. Very similar to VERO, and I wanted to see if it could get going over this previous high. Look for a bit of a pivot over that high and sort of taking off these dips, and of course it just never got breaking out. So we had KUST over 320. Well, this is all you needed today, and I've got 6 back-to-back profitable trades on this thing today. 6 back-to-back profitable trades. Now, going into the bell today, this thing looked pretty dang good. Now, you have this massive move back here at 8 a.m. this morning. This thing was up significant. And, it's sitting here coiling into market open. It maintained a majority of its move. As you know, if a stock does give back more than a half of its move, I typically leave it alone because the chance of further upside is pretty much gone. So this held a majority of its move and just began to consolidate here, and then it begins to reclaim VWAP. Well, it reclaims VWAP, and it puts in place this sort of confirmed range going into market open. And so I say, okay, this looks pretty good for a little cup and handle breakout. Because, of course, you've got that, and I hate saying cup and handle breakouts. I hate talking about patterns like that. But, for simple terms, you have this sort of cup and handle forming here. Really what that means is you've got higher lows. I mean, you're putting in higher lows in an uptrend. You can call it a cup and handle breakout. You're looking for a continuation. So again, it puts in place, as you can see here, it puts in place a lower low and then begins to put in place these higher lows, puts in place, as you can see, these lower highs, flip structure, now puts in place a higher high and a higher low. So it's just an easier way of identifying market structure, just saying cup and handle breakout. When you're talking about, again, market structure where we have these lower highs and higher lows, we see now that we have broken into a higher high and a higher low, which puts in place that handle everybody talks about. So, in any case, this looked pretty good. I was looking to see if this gets squeezing up at market open, and it did. It was kind of a weird move, though. I took it off the pullback here at VWAP, and as you can see, I was able to get it actually for a pretty nice play. I played it here at the bell from 350. Again, stop loss, of course, goes here at the bottom of this range, and looking for the squeeze at market open, and I got to move here to $3.80 at the bell. Of course, just enough to get my profit taken out of this, you can see on this move and open, and then I sat back and waited for another opportunity, which, as you can see, oh my gosh, the opportunity here was just something else. Look at this. So what I know here is this big candle here off the high. This is an area of supply now, where this massive rejection, this huge grab of liquidity at market open becomes a massive area of supply. So in order to trade this again, I've got to first see price break back above that area. And so what does price do? It breaks back above that area. So price breaks above in a strong way here on candle number 3 and pulls back. And at that point, I'm watching pullbacks because we have that confluence of this past high and this area of supply here out of market open. So we've got perfect confluence. And so price pulls back, and I'm able to take this thing multiple times for profit again. I take it once here off the pullback, get a little pop back up into the highs, and then I see, look what happens here. So check this out. It puts in place this wick. It pulls back again, retests the 20 EMA, and gets bought back up aggressively. As soon as that happens, I know, okay, buyers are still interested here. They just came back in on this pullback. I want to take the next pullback. And so price pulls back again. I know that buyers stepped in here. So guess what? I take a re-entry right here off this pullback. Again, great confluence here off the moving averages and this past wick low or the range back up into previous high of day. And again, what do I get? That exact move. And so by this point, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 profitable trades on this. And I've played it here from 340s to 370s, and then again here from 370 to 390, and then again back from 360s back to 4. And so this was an active day. Now, I did miss an entry. There's one entry that I missed on this day, and it was right here off this double bottom, where we have this big wick off the low, and it pulls back again. It finds a buyer off that low, and I wanted to take it here so bad, but I was waiting for that pullback to come right here. And then I was going to take it for the move back higher, and I missed it. But I was still able to trade it, though. So, of course, we know that the previous high sits up here. We have ascending resistance overhead. And, of course, we have this confirmed higher low. And so what do you know? Look at this. We have this tightening channel to the upside here where we can start to look for pullbacks again in this range off the bottom of trend. Again, it breaks back above the 9 EMA. I nail the entry. Again, stops go down here at the bottom of this candle for the break back up into the highs. It begins to hesitate, so I'll take a full exit because as we can see, this candle breaks over the last candle's high, instantly rejects, so got out of that, took my win. Again, it pulls back off the 20 EMA. Got a bad entry on this one right here, but nonetheless, still caught it. I really wanted to get this down here off the 20 EMA. Again, I got a pretty bad fill and, took a pretty quick exit there. I couldn't really get aggressive like I wanted to because of risk to reward, but got it there from 385 back to 393. A little 10-cent win. And then it breaks over the high of day, and I'm able to trade it. Again, I take a pullback off that 9 EMA. Again, you can see it pulls off the 9, take an entry. I get a pop to the highs. And again, per my exit system, as soon as price breaks a high and instantly flips and rejects, that's my full exit every single time. And that, again, pretty much timed the top here. So, again, played it from 416 back to about 430s. Then, of course, rejects off the high. That's my full take profit. Now, also have SIDU swing going today. Move was on last night's free stock watch list. If you stay tuned with my watch list every night, which I give for completely free, this thing was awesome. Ran today from 12 all the way up into the 23s. I did not play this today. It happened a bit early. I also don't trade stocks around this share price typically. And there was just better stocks for me to trade today. The big thing is this happened quite early. And while I don't trade a whole lot in pre-market, if you did, then definitely this was one to keep your eyes on. It made a pretty awesome move today. So if you did trade pre-market, you probably caught move from last night's watch list. I also said to avoid NAMM today, and thankfully I did because look at this move today. And I said the reason why is you had the 200 moving average right over yesterday's high of day. And the problem with this is, and look, I don't say often on my free stock watch list to avoid a stock, but whenever I do, this is why. This was the big gainer that we gave to everybody yesterday, too, before it ran 160%. And so I knew everybody was going to be watching it for a day 2 move, or really day 3 move. And so I felt the need to go out there and say, look, I know everybody's watching this, but it should not be on your radar today. This thing is going to hurt a lot of people. And thankfully we did because this thing is now down massively today. Made a move at market open, but of course rejected right there off of the 200 moving average, halted down. Halted down twice, actually. So that thing was a mess. Thankfully, though, it was on the watch list as a do not trade today. And that sums it up. Again, less is more. Less trades, less time, make more money. And that's sort of the motto that I stick to. Less trades, less time, more size, more money is the motto. A+, obvious setups only, and that was today. There was really only the one A+ setup on KUST, and that was all you really needed. So that sums up the morning. A quick video to end the week. I hope you guys had an amazing day. Again, no more chasing breakouts. We know in this market, breakouts are the last thing you want to be touching because it's just so overcrowded out there on a lot of these names. And so soaking those pullbacks off the 9, soaking those pullbacks off of VWAP, they are the way to go right now into the first of the new year. So looking forward to getting into it again on Monday. Really, really good way to end the week today. I'm stoked. I'm happy. Little 30-minute day today. And that being said, as always, subscribe for daily content just like this. And make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to lock in access for free for an entire week to trade alongside me in real time and get access to alerts, education, watch list, chat room access, education, scanners, Momentum AI, Momentum Journal, and so much more. And that being said, I will catch you back on Monday. Have an amazing, blessed weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. I'll catch you back then. See ya.